Welcome to a literature research orientation. This video will walk you through how to use Learning Commons resources to find relevant academic literary research for your classes. Now, from the Learning Commons homepage, you can search directly with the All Resources search, but we're going to take a look at some individual databases for literary research instead. Click the databases link to access our full A to Z list of databases. At BPCC, we have access to 100 or so different databases, and you can filter them using these dropdowns. You can also search for a particular database or limit by alphabet. But we're going to use the subject limiter Literature in English, which includes 18 databases. Notice these 5 best bets databases in the yellow box. These are databases selected by our librarians that best align with class assignments and requirements for this subject area here at BPCC, so I recommend always starting with these resources when beginning your research. In this research orientation, we will be looking at a few of these databases and using them to find some quality sources. Let's start with GALE Literature. Click the link and authenticate using your Lola username and birthday in 6 digits as the PIN. GALE Literature searches multiple GALE literary databases at one time, so it provides access to quite a few different collections. If we click this What's Inside link, we can see the different collections available here. Now, going back, the most noticeable thing on the homepage is, of course, the search box, where we can go ahead and type our search terms. Notice it gives us some suggestions to choose from if we want, with the title and what kind of resource it is, but there are 2 listed as a play here. The first entry is the one we're looking for. It's the play by William Shakespeare. The second entry is for other performances of that same play, so it will probably include Shakespeare along with other versions and adaptations. The search works fine, but if you wanted to be super specific about the work you were looking for, we can go back to the home page and use one of these other search options. We could perform a person search and set it to William Shakespeare if we were writing about his life, but we will want to use works search to find research on this specific play. We can type and search directly or apply some extra parameters to make it more specific. But for now, let's just do a simple search. Now we can see a list of the works with this title, the author, type of work, and the number of search results. So when we click A Midsummer Night's Dream, we're brought to the results page. Most of what you will need for your research falls under literature criticism here, but you can select these other types of sources as well if needed. Over on the right, there are some limiters you can use to get more specific results. Let's click Document Type and include essays and articles, and then we'll click Apply. So that brings the number of results down a bit. Now we could just scroll through and read titles, but let's try to get this a little more specific by searching within these results. This search only applies to these 82 articles and essays that we have listed. So now you can see there are 4 results, and this third one looks pretty good. At a glance, we can see a bit of information about it, and if we click the title, we can read the full text of this essay. At the top of the page, there are some tools available. You can get the citation to copy and paste into your works cited page or bibliography. But just be careful when pasting. Sometimes formatting will change or there may be some slight errors. I always recommend double checking your citations when copying and pasting. You can send this essay to Google Drive, OneDrive, or you can email it to yourself. This link here, it'll download a PDF of it, and this one lets you print directly from the screen. There are also some helpful tools built into the document viewer. Here, you can flip through the pages of the document, and over on the left, there are a number of navigation links. You can view the table of contents, and full citation information. This Explore link, it allows you to see some more information about the work, including what titles it discusses and a list of related subjects. And there's also a text reader. And at the top here, there are some tools for changing how the work is displayed on the page, which can be helpful for different screen sizes. All right, so the next database we'll be looking at is called Jstor. This database provides access to more than 12 million resources in the humanities and sciences. It's a great database for literary research, and I highly recommend using it in your research. So, from the homepage, let's go ahead and search for a streetcar named Desire. Okay, this gave us a lot of results. In JSTOR, you'll definitely need to narrow down your search and get a bit more specific. I recommend making your search a bit more narrow. Instead of just searching a streetcar named Desire, you can add the word and followed by another term. This is called a Boolean operator. All of the results now will include both terms. These results should mention articles and books that are both about a streetcar named Desire and family. You could also use the word or not. Or will include resources that discuss a streetcar named Desire and sources that talk only about family. Not will include resources that discuss a streetcar named Desire and do not discuss family. You could build a search like this by using the advanced search link here as well. And most of our databases have this searching functionality. Let's apply some limiters now. You can search within the results, just like in GALE Literature, and you can specify what type of content and the publication date range of it. Subject limiters can help to exclude things from outside of your field. But let's go ahead and click the Content I Can Access limiter. This ensures that you have full text access to all of the resources that we find. Now let's limit these results to journals and book chapters, and this is where I will begin exploring the search results. After reviewing this list of results, you can always change up your search terms. Try some similar words and phrases. Instead of searching family, maybe try something like home or gender roles, and you may find other useful resources that are related to your research. Okay, now let's see one of these articles. JSTOR has many of the same tools as Gale. Share, save, and download are all available, as well as a menu here on the left side where you can find a link to this resource, a button to copy the citation, subject tags so that you can see what the main topics of this work are, and then also a few navigation links. Now let's go back to the database list, and we're going to check out Bloom's Literature. This is a great resource for the early stages of your research. Bloom's has literary criticism, but it also has many resources to help you become a better researcher and writer. There's a lot of information about individual authors and works, as well as research topics, ideas, and tips for writing and researching. Bloom's has a good collection of photos and videos of some works and authors as well. Let's see, under Browse, you can find full lists of authors, works, and characters available. Resources including a list of essay topics and literary themes, and special features like this How to Write About section. If you're researching a work by a popular author like George Orwell, check this out to learn all sorts of helpful themes, strategies, history, and context about the work and the author that can really help your research and your writing. Under Curriculum Tools, you can get some help with citations, evaluating sources, plagiarism, and even writing a research paper. But let's go ahead and get started with a simple search. At the top of the results here, you can change the resource type. There are some interesting photos and video clips from a film adaptation of Animal Farm. But what we'll be interested in mostly is criticism, as usual. Bloom's Literature does not have as many search tools available, but there is an advanced search feature, which is the best way to narrow your search. So we'll add an and here and select criticism and search. Let's click one of these articles. You can see right here all of the usual tools are just beneath the title. Over on the right is more information about the item and also subjects. Now that was a brief look at Bloom's Literature. Now let's go ahead and take a look at one last database. This one is called GALE Literary Index. It's a simple database, but really useful for searching much of our literary holdings in the reference collection on the first floor in the Learning Commons. There are a number of literary criticisms on a wide range of authors and works, and the Literary Index can tell which volumes and titles have those particular topics. From our A to Z list, we'll click the Literary Index link. And from here, we can either search by author, title, or perform a custom search. We'll start with an author search, but be really careful with your spelling when working in Literary Index. It's pretty picky. If you get no results from a search, always double check your spelling. But here you can see the list of series that include an entry for our author that we searched. We do not have every one of these series, but we do have quite a few. Now let's go back and try a title search. Unless you're researching a particular author, I recommend using the title search. It will be much more specific, and you can also specify the author in this search as well. We'll choose the correct title, and now we can see the relevant series. You can see the title of the series here. The bold number is the volume of the series, followed by the page number where those articles are found. I recommend starting with the volumes that have the most page numbers listed, as these will likely have more in-depth discussions of the work. For example, Contemporary Literary Criticism, volume 59 is pretty good, but 20th Century Literary Criticism, volume 209 is definitely your best bet. This volume probably has a few different essays and criticisms to choose from. The custom search has not been extremely useful for me. It's similar to the author search, but with some extra parameters like the date range. It could be helpful for finding authors that lived in a particular time period. But for the most part, I recommend the title search above the others. If you ever need help finding any of these series next time you're in the Learning Commons, just let one of our librarians know and they'd be happy to help you. And that covers our orientation to literature research. Thanks for watching this video. Remember that librarians are standing by online and in the Learning Commons to help you with your research if you need any assistance. Please feel free to reach out and let us know how we can help.